5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why did I count that? We only doing it. Okay. Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Bree, aka B Breezy, back with another video. And I have my lovely friends with me today.
Hey, I'm Kay, owner of B&B Globe Travelers and Zenith Girls Creations.
Hi everyone, I'm Tashina. I am a trainer. My fitness page, rather, is at Shees, SHESS_2, FITT.
Hey y'all, my name is Happy and my business is at Happy Gift Wrapping on Instagram. So as y'all can see by the title, today's video is going to be on how to be unapologetic and ultimately just loving yourself, so tips on self-love. How to be unapologetic when it comes to my feelings. A situation where this occurred for me was when I was driving a lot of my friends a lot of different places. And one time my cousin was with me because she had already spent the night. She saw that I was frustrated about, having to pick people up. I was getting overwhelmed, and she told me, if that's how you feel, honestly, it's okay to tell people no. So ultimately, I eventually learned in a lot of situations just to tell people no and recognize how I feel. If I'm uncomfortable, if I don't feel like doing it, just put it aside. It's okay to put your feelings first.
Definitely when it comes to putting your feelings first, it may be hard to tell other people no. Like for me, my big issue is telling people no. Spreading myself entirely too thin. I thought I was okay in my mind because I was helping people out. But yes, I'm helping people out, but it had to get to a point in time where I realized that I needed to help myself out as well.
I agree. I think that, and this is something, because when I was younger, I had that issue. I think that it takes different types of people to understand what it means when you say no. Because when you say no, sometimes people internalize no as a negative thing, but no is also a positive thing. Mm-hmm. And especially toward the person who is that person who's delivering or sending that no. And I look at saying no to certain things as self-love and self-care, because as Kay said and as Bree said, you spreading yourself out too thin, you're not going to have anything else to give to anyone. But if they care about you enough, then they would understand and they would love you enough to say, you know what, it's okay that you can't do this for me.
I had an issue with being kind of a people pleaser growing up, so I had to really just figure out that I need to put myself first, because like they just said, I was spreading myself too thin, trying to help people, and then I wouldn't say I'd hold grudges against people, but I would start to build up some animosity. Yes, that's where animosity over people, because I'd feel unappreciated, and two, I just wasn't speaking up enough for myself. So I definitely have been doing that a lot more, and I'm proud of myself for it.
And then keeping the animosity, it also helps, when you get rid of that, it helps you maintain your relationships with other people.
Definitely. Yeah. Oh my God.
So that's an intent right there. Mm-hmm. Having firm boundaries.
No, you don't gotta say it like that.
It definitely depends on what kind of relationship you're in, because there are various kinds of relationships. So sometimes boundaries could be you can't, talk to XYZ, or sometimes boundaries could be you can go out with your friends, I don't mind, but please don't come back, sloppy drunk or super turned, just coming in here waking up all the kids and stuff,
I say this in short. Firm boundaries saves every type of relationship. Every type of relationship. Again, self-love. If I have an issue with my boyfriend, speaking to me a certain type of way, and you know what I'm saying, and he's speaking to me that type of way, and I allow that stuff. I was about to say something else, but I allow that. After a while, I'm gonna get so tired of it that either I leave or I start talking to him a certain type of way. Or that stuff saves relationships. And also, I'm a relatable person, so I'm gonna go and say I've heard a podcast. So he said something about, and this is a little funny topic, real quick, when we real short, but he was like, my girl and I, we have boundaries. He was like, if I'm on the toilet, he was like, if I'm on the toilet,
known toilet.
The door is closed. She knows this is my spot. This is my space right here.
Right.
And I'm thinking like, you know what? Like that should be how it is. No, listen, I don't allow that. Boundaries.
Very. Boundaries for me, I'm gonna go into like friendships. I'm gonna go into story time. I've had certain friends tell me, oh, I'm with my guy too much, or oh, I'm in the house, like I'm not with them enough. And where they get confused is because usually I am an outgoing person. Usually I am surrounded by friends. But sometimes I have to put that boundary up, you know, to just allow myself time to woosah or allow time with my boyfriend. Like, it's nothing personal. It's just a boundary. And you have to set boundaries in different situations for you and others. Like, maybe they need to take time with themselves, you know? Another with my parents. Hit y'all with the parents, though.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
my,
For sure.
No, me and my mom, we were struggling for the longest in our relationship because she couldn't understand that I'm adulting now,
Yes.
and there has to be a boundary between us. But when I left for the military, space was the boundary in that case, because when I came back home, it was totally different. Like, she gave me the space I've always wanted, you know, as I became an adult, and it allowed our relationship to grow, I guess.
Don't you know how people when they flirt, you sometimes have to tell them no,
Yeah.
but they don't really get it after the first few times. I had to set a boundary with this man, a mentor of mine, and we rented some chairs from him for my birthday, like a year or two ago. And your man's saw her and was just like flabbergasted. He was astonished at her beauty. But
Okay.
I told him, no, she's not interested. But just every time I talked to him afterwards, he just kept bringing her up. And I'm just like...
The boundary on that one was that he was just supposed to be her mentor. And then the boundary with me was we were just supposed to be conducting business. And it was like he was passing both of those.
I had to tell him, look, she's not interested. She has a boyfriend. If she was interested, maybe she would have said something from the first time a year ago.
This is why boundaries are important, because romantic relationships, friendships, any parentships,
I love how we tied all of those
Yeah.
in one.
Everything.
all of those things, the main basis is people will only do what you allow.
Things I'm no longer apologizing for is being emotional or crying. I did used to apologize sometimes. I used to be the type of person to always say sorry. And then most recently, I kind of like looked to myself and I was like, why am I always apologizing for something I didn't even do anything wrong? So I'm not going to feel bad for crying when I have the right to feel some type of way about a situation, whether it's big to me or small to them. And if I am emotional about something, I'm going to communicate it, and if they feel some type of way, I got it off my chest, and that made me feel better.
So I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I am super emotional. This might be a Leo thing or whatever. But we're the best anyway.
Don't
Period.
You just said it wasn't
Scorpio.
I'm sorry, I heard Leo.
So I find myself apologizing for my emotions, and that's because I don't understand my emotions. And a lot of the times people apologize for things that they don't understand.
Yes.
And so, and this is gone beyond my relationships and onto just my regular life. Like, I remember when I worked as a server back in college, and I was telling people sorry for stuff that it wasn't my fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, sorry that this, and it would make me feel some type of way because it's like, bro, I didn't do it. And so I'm overexerting myself and overexerting my emotions, you know what I'm saying, to please someone else. And I, again, am still working on this, but I have to understand that I can't keep doing that. I can't keep saying I'm sorry for feeling a certain type of way or sorry for something that someone else is doing.
Okay, short backstory. How I got out of the military. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I apologize for this. I felt so terrible for this. I was depressed for it. But simply, when I thought on why, okay, I got out of the military because I fell asleep and I was security with weapons. We're not supposed to do that. I understand that. But mentally, I was at a place where it just wasn't in my heart. Like, that was not for me. And ultimately I gave up and allowed myself to fall asleep and, you know, got kicked out. But throughout the whole process, I felt so bad and I was apologizing. I was ashamed with my family, like so much, right? But when I thought it all through and realized like why, you know, it just wasn't for me, literally, I am not sorry. I am happy. Like, I'm happier. The day I went home, I was happier. Like, sometimes you got to get yourself out of a situation, like, to see that all that apologizing, baby, you shouldn't have been doing it.
Yeah. Lessons in disguise.
Yeah.
So growing up, half of my family would shove the notion down your throat of basically you shouldn't have any other feelings other than happiness because you're a child. You can feel sad if you want to.
That's a flex.
But whatever. And to this day, I'm still working on like releasing my emotions and talking about things that bother me more, because for a long time I pretty much had the notion that my feelings and the way that I feel, it doesn't matter to anybody else. It's not important to anybody else, but that's not true, because even if it's not important to anybody else, it's important to me. It helps me be strong. It helps me eliminate stress when I talk. And stress kills. Whether you know that or not, it really does. Stress will kill you.
Okay, careful.
Vacation.
Vacation.
Yes, that's what we all love vacation.
DMV globe travelers.
I will hop on a flight in
Y'all
a
got-
second.
Needing to take a break. This is so
She
so
needed to
big
take a
on
break.
every
Did y'all
level.
see that?
Listen, she said, I can't even explain how important a break is. And a break in anything, because you have people that take breaks in school.
Yeah.
You have people that take breaks in relationships. You have people that take breaks I work out, I need a break. You know what I'm saying? It is important to know when you need a break. And why is it important to know when you need a break? Because again, I talk about overexerting your energy. You can overexert your energy mentally, physically, emotionally, financially.
Yes.
I don't like
For
that.
sure.
Every
But
lead.
impossible.
Yes.
I feel the same way. Like, needing to take a break is important, because if you have all of these mental stresses in your life, you feel like you're working hard, you feel like you're working tirelessly to ends meet, and you feel like you're not going anywhere. It's because you are working hard, but you're also working yourself
To death.
to death. I was going to say to death.
Woo.
If you cry on the way to work because you don't want to go to work, you're tired.
Take a break.
If
Take
you
a
cry
break.
on the way home because you don't want to go home, you need a break. You're tired.
Recognize it. Recognize it and then say that. Like,
And don't feel, I put that on my story too one time, as far as like needing to take a break. Don't apologize, because we talk about apologizing, you know what I'm saying? Do not feel like you owe anybody anything.
Right.
Oh.
It's like when you take your break, just take your break, but make sure it's just a break. That's where a lot of people definitely
Oh, yeah.
miss the point.
yeah.
When you take a break, it's meant for you to resume. You're
Right.
supposed to go back to doing whatever it was, unless you completely eliminated it. And in that case, it's not a break. You just stop doing it.
So I don't know if anybody watched the Soft White Underbelly on YouTube. The guy who interviews people.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay. Something y'all gotta watch him. He interviews like real life people, real life situations. Okay. One trending one I watch on his channel is prostitution. He interviews prostitutes. Something I see in a lot of those is that they need to take a break. Like, but there's negative breaks and positive breaks. They talk about the issues that they've grown up or gone through in life, and then say drugs is their escape, or prostitution because they're running away from their real issues, going out on the street is their break. There are more positive ways, in my opinion, to take these breaks. They talking about going to pimps because they make them feel the love they haven't felt with their family. Like, don't escape it with something like even worse.
We say that with love because
Yeah.
I understand that there's a difference between sympathy and empathy.
Yeah. This may not go for every prostitute, but just a lot of the episodes I see a trend. Like, they say they're trying to escape their problems with doing a lot of this other stuff. Some of them don't know how to find the proper help. I feel like just try to find a more positive way. I'm gonna simplify it with that. And if you don't know anyone, like, make it your mission to find someone. Don't give up.
I feel like a lot with the older generation, they don't understand the words take a break. especially people at my job and
That's
my mother.
true.
Love my mama to death, but she sometimes deems it not okay that I'm fine with not going to work all the time. Like I'm first things first. I'm never gonna do anything to jeopardize myself and my job position.
Right.
So that's first things first. But when I need a break, I'm starting to recognize when I need a break.
See, I'm gonna tie this into it. I'm gonna say this because I don't know anything but being a black woman. That's all I know is being a black woman. We as black women are supposed to be strong. We're literally supposed to be resilient. We're supposed to handle everything. It's like if we need a break, it's like what? You need a break? And it's like, bro, no, we need a break.
We do.
Or
we are young,
if I
we need
get
a
this
break.
bro, I'm going to catch a fucking cake. I'm going to catch a cake. Okay? Asking for clarification, but I don't understand something. I'm laughing because I have my master's degree.
Okay.
And I still don't know. I'm smart enough to know I don't know not even a third of the world, okay? And one issue that I've had, and I still have this issue, and I don't mind talking about it, is when somebody asks me, like, hey, like, do you know how to get here? I will literally try to figure out how to get there. Like, I will not tell somebody I don't know. And I have to understand that asking for help or asking for someone to clarify something for me does not mean you're stupid. I'm not apologizing for saying, you know what, break this down for me. There's nothing wrong with asking for help because the way that the person might display whatever it is that they want you to understand might not be a way that you're able to receive it.
I certainly don't have no problems asking for clarification because if I don't understand something, you ain't gonna be looking at me like I'm crazy because I fucked it up. I messed it up. So I'm gonna ask for clarification. And shoot, I'm asking for clarification right now on some Airbnbs I'm trying to rent. Excuse me, sir, is this allowed? Is this allowed? Yeah. I want
It's important.
I like
understanding.
Understanding and full information so there's no miscommunication going on.
So that one right there is important. I think that's important because you don't want to run into bad situations. Y'all, a problem I got is like if there's something I want to know more about or something I want to like engage in, I have this shy thing about me where I won't ask the question or I won't speak up on the subject, and then that puts a barrier between me and the person. It forms the miscommunication. So I think, asking those questions when you're not understanding, or don't be shy to do it because of like how you think you might appear to the other person.
If we create a safe place or a safe space for people to ask for help, it would be much easier. The world would be so much easier.
When it comes to asking for clarification, it is something that I still do. I still apologize for it from time to time, but I will let people know because, like, I assemble furniture. I do administrative assistant work. So, I mean, anything from in between those, like, I need clarification. I need to know where you want this because I don't want to build this big old wardrobe all the way over here and you want it all the way over there. Like,
True.
I don't want to build this desk with the drawers on this side and you really wanted the drawers on that side. Like, I'm doing administrative assistant. I don't want to delete X files and you wanted Y files
That'd
deleted.
be a big problem.
Like, you have to ask for clarification, and then also because we all speak English, but different things mean different things to different people.
Really?
I got a bomb drop for y'all. Okay. Something that people do when it comes to clarification. Instead of asking for that clarification, okay, they just go ahead and straight assume. And then that leads to many issues. If there's something that pops in your head, ask the motherfucking question. I'm telling you. Because
Closed mouths don't
yes,
get fed.
ding ding ding.
Okay.
Like, I'm not gonna be apologetic for how others choose to behave. Okay. So a girl didn't want to be my friend in elementary, and I apologized and begged, like for what she was mad at, something I was totally not in the wrong for. But I found myself apologizing. Child, when I tell you I ain't doing that crap no more, I'ma stand on, look, you and whatever you're upset about has nothing to do with me. That's something you need to work out for yourself. I mean, we could talk about it because I'm that type. Like, if you have a problem, you can come to me and we can talk it out. But when you're choosing to behave a certain way, I'm not feeding into it. I'm gonna keep living my best life.
I can't rationalize irrationality.
Yeah.
Honestly, somebody will make you feel bad for something you didn't even do. Like something you had absolutely no control over, but you will be apologizing. Like I remember one of my friends, I told them, oh, this route is the better route. They got a nail in their tire, thought they was gonna blow up on me for them having a nail in their tire because I told them to take that route.
That's completely uncontrollable.
No, but that's why I said I can't rationalize irrational thoughts. Like if you're being irrational, I can't rationalize that. My mind is not understanding what you're saying.
That goes along with boundaries.
Yep.
And I live by, you only allow people to do what you allow them to do. People will treat you how you allow them to treat you.
People only do what you allow them.
Exactly.
Things I'm done apologizing for, changing to become a better person. I don't know why I have to apologize to people for me becoming a better person. If you don't want to become a better person, you stay right on there being the person that you are. Because let me tell you, I'm going to continue to grow. I'm going to continue to strive. I'm going to continue to elevate myself in any area that I can. So for you to get mad at me for changing myself for the better, what does that make of you?
So I definitely am the type of person to always try to like bring up people with me, and something I have to keep telling myself is you can't bring everybody with you.
Yeah.
And to just revert to something is like my last relationship. I really tried to like, I wouldn't say put him on my level, but just like really kind of like bring him to where I was kind of mentally. Like he just was still stagnant, and it kind of made me feel stagnant. So, and when he kind of told me like I'm changing, I'm just like, no, I'm just not into those certain things I used to be when we were in high school, because we were together since high school. We were together for like almost 5 years. I definitely felt like I wasn't where I should be for our age. Like, you know, some people should have had a car. Some people have cars, some people have their licenses. And if I would have been doing what I was supposed to have done, I would have been way further than I am now. But now I'm getting there, and I'm proud of myself, and I'm not apologizing for growing up.
And it's really not a problem with trying to, you know, help people be better people as well.
Right.
But,
they have to want that too.
Right. Yes, that's
true.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Like, a lot of people, when you... I'm weak. No.
Yeah, I couldn't. You only have to apologize to people who aren't on your level. That's for real. Like, if you are growing and someone wants to grow with you, you do not have to apologize.
Right.
You will never have to catch yourself apologizing to a man that wants to level up with you.
Right.
For someone who wants to stay stagnant and is content with their life, they're mad as heck at you because you bossing up.
Because you're
Not
doing
answering the
things
phone.
that they're not doing. You're being able to go places that they're not able to go. Like, jealousy really is a green-eyed monster for real.
My last relationship, he wanted me to grow. I wasn't ready to grow. In a friendship, I have people who are mad at me because I'm finally trying to make the moves to grow. So I've been on both ends of the spectrum. No, I wasn't ever mad at him for growing or wanting to grow. I just literally wasn't ready, and I had to realize that. And I'm finally at a point in my life where I realize that. And so I have a lot of people surrounded by me who aren't used to me, like, because like I said earlier, I usually am with my friends, la-di-da, but no, I'm trying to be on a more focused path.
We are in our early to mid 20s, bro. If most of your time is spent doing nothing, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, this is
about
the time that you should be trying to figure out what I want to do in my life. And also, how can I be better? How can I make money? How can I support myself?
After the teens,
If you got friends, if you got friends that's still on the same time as when we was 18 or when we was back in college, partying all the time, drinking all the time, smoking all the time, and just doing a bunch of other crap, you really need to reevaluate your friends.
Not apologizing for not agreeing with someone. So, for the most part, I would say I have this one down pat, because I really understand that everybody's not going to have the same views, but sometimes the view that one has needs to be, y'all views need to be met at a common ground. So like, okay, we're not agreeing, let's find a way to, if not agree, be content like with both of our views. I think that's something important that you can try to work on, attempt to work on, and definitely don't apologize for it, because we are all entitled to our own opinion. I had someone comment on the name that I used in one of my videos referring to a person, and no, we didn't have the same views on it, but I came to a common term with them. I said, okay, in the future, maybe I'll be less harsh or whatever.
Right. So I'm a very big firm believer on we can agree to disagree, because I was one that always used to, my best friend told me this, shout out Jewel, she always told me that I didn't like to be wrong, and that would cause a major problem between her and me, because I felt like I was always right, and I felt like she always felt like she had to be right. But what I needed to do was understand where they were coming from and understand what it is that they're saying, even though I didn't agree with it. So I'm doing better now on understanding the point of what they're saying, but I still stand firmly on, I don't agree with that shit.
If you get to the point where you can't meet somebody in the middle, what are you gonna do? You're gonna continue to argue them down?
Right.
No, you have to calm down. Sometimes this is part of maturing and being a bigger person too. A lot of people think being a bigger person means being well, y'all know, it kind of rhymes with Mitch. That's where the phrase I agree to disagree comes into play. Because I'm not going to sit here and keep arguing you down till I'm blue in the face, I'm crazy, now we about to fight because now we disagreed about something that doesn't even make any sense, something that's small.
One thing that I've been trying to do too when I have a disagreement with someone is try to call it a creative discussion. And I call it a creative discussion because we are all entitled to our own opinion. And I also have to understand that where you come from is not where I come from.
Right.
And that's even if we lived in the same hood, or that's even if we went to the same school, or shoot, me and my sister, we have different viewpoints. She sees, a certain way that I don't see. But I have to understand that just because she sees that way doesn't mean it's wrong.
Right.
And so it's just really important that you don't always have a creative discussion to be right. You have one to understand that person, because listen to me when I tell you that there are different avenues to every destination.
Things I'm not apologizing for, not settling for less than what I deserve. Like I said, previous relationship, I definitely felt like I was taken advantage of a little bit and just not appreciated as much. So left that where it needed to be. Got in a relationship a couple months later. I am as happy as I can be, and I'm appreciated, I am respected, and just, it's where it's at, and everybody should get here. I want it for everybody.
Right.
It took a lot. It took a lot. It took me losing myself a little bit in that last relationship to really realize I deserved better. Like, I truly tried to make it work, but after a while I realized it's not going to, and I deserve better.
God had a plan.
But that also doesn't mean you trash all the people that don't treat you how you deserve to be treated in the beginning. Why? Because just like she said, if you don't open your mouth, they could be in past relationships where they're accustomed to treating people a certain way, or in past relationships where they're accustomed to people treating them a certain way, and then they come to you in a relationship and then they treat you accordingly. Don't just drop them, because talk to them first, because maybe you can talk to them and they can fix their behavior like she did, or you can talk to them and they'll be like, oh, I'll treat you how I treat you, and then they drop it.
Right.
Because the way that we are in our society now, this is just speaking for my parents have been together, and I always use this because I learned a lot from my parents. Yeah, they've been together since high school. You have to understand that with that came much change. You change by yourself, so you know you change in a relationship. And so we want instant gratification. We see all these memes like, if they don't treat you like this, then
Oh,
leave
yeah,
them.
you just
If they
gotta
do
walk out the door.
it takes work. It takes work in every
doesn't happen
freaking
overnight.
relationship, and
Yeah.
it's not you forcing anything.
Yeah.
It's not you being
It's-
a people pleaser. It's not you. But
I think it's what you're saying. It's not what it is if they want to change.
right. Oh yeah,
That's
they want
what
to
it
change.
is.
Yes. If they want to change,
Yeah.
and they're showing change, and they're showing that they care about you and they respect you enough
Yeah.
to work on that change. Of course, that's something that you have to be able to decipher yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
apologizing for what I deserve, but I have to say this too: the better of anyone or the better of yourself helps to better other people.
Letting go when I need to, and then healing at my own pace.
Just to handle the first part of that, you know when you need to let something go. First of all, a lot of people like to play games. It could be anything, really. Like that, you know that you're putting too much into it, and it would be best just to let it go. You stressing yourself out keeping it. It's not gonna help. Yes, it's gonna hurt to let it go, but you'll feel better after the hurt. The hurt is not gonna last forever.
And that's the healing. That's where healing comes
Yeah,
in.
that's what I was about to say.
Mhm.
Now it's time to heal. And when it comes to healing, you do heal at your own pace. Nobody can tell you, oh, you're not healing fast enough. You're not
Yeah.
healing. You're healing too slow. Like,
Right.
what kind of sense? And first of all, for those people who say that, screw you.
You're being unrealistic.
Straight screw you. Because let's see how, first of all, if you think you can get over it, I'm going to let you know in your mind 100%, either you never really committed your emotions to it, or it's still in there somewhere, driving you insane. In the middle of the night,
Just
it's going
make
to
it.
wake you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just
That
going
is-
through the motion.
So for me, this touches like a lot of experiences I've had, like getting in a car crash, losing my job, getting out of relationships. I learned lessons out of all of them. I try to take a lesson out of situations rather than like apologizing for it or being mad at myself. Sometimes I am mad at myself, but I try not to be, because ultimately when I heal, I'll grow and be in a better position than like where I was left. So like an easy one is when I once again got kicked out of the military. Told y'all I was apologetic. I went through a depression, all of that, but I learned to let it go. I learned that I was blessed for it, because soon as I got home, y'all, I had my family, I had my friends, I got back in school, I found a job. Like I got on my grind, like I'm on my grind, and I'm so much happier. So the healing process took time. That took a whole year for me to heal and gain my self-love back and confidence in myself.
You should not apologize for healing at your own pace. Everybody is different. Some people can get over things quicker than others. Some people cannot. Sorry to keep reverting back to my one example, but just in that old relationship, I knew I needed to let go. I just did not want to for several reasons. One, I was comfortable there. Two, I really wanted it to work out. Three, I wanted better for him and for me and for us. So I just really tried to make it work, even though I knew that, like deep down in the back of my mind, that it wouldn't. So when I finally did say F it, I was just like, okay. As far as the healing at your own pace, I was probably mentally out of that relationship 6 months back into it, and then 5 months later, we broke up for good. So I can say 5 months, I was healing mentally, getting out of that, telling myself that I do deserve better.
Yeah.
I am worthy of better.
And
then
you
when
can
I
heal in a situation.
Even though you're still in it,
Mhm.
like personally you can be healing
definitely
and then break out of that joint.
But that doesn't mean
Definitely.
you're
And
going
then,
to completely heal. That just
Well,
means
yeah,
you're healing small
partially.
aspects. And
I was just gonna say,
Oh,
I
okay.
can bring in like sports and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
because
sports.
I play sports all my life. Okay, so I listen to I Am Athlete podcast, and I listen to Nice and Neat. I like that podcast too. And it's like athletes that talk about, basically having to let that sport go. Like when they let that sport go, what it did to them mentally. And luckily, well, not luckily, but I think that I probably would be in a worse space if I made it like pro or something like that with soccer or basketball or stuff like that. But as far as it even just me leaving it in college, and having to let it go and trying to figure out where I was and who I am, and because you really do wrap your mind and you wrap your identity around the sport that you play.
Sure.
And you know, like I'm existing in a world where the only thing I knew was sports. Like I hung out with friends, and when guys used to ask me, "Yo, what you do?" I'd be like, "Play sports."
Yeah.
What else? Work out. Okay, like what else you like to do? I had to understand that that's not all that life was about. Kind of like with them needing to understand that your relationship is not everything. Like you love that person, or you love that person, but letting that go, letting that situation go, and wanting better, or trying to have better, right? Wanting more, it's no problem. It's not a problem. Like to heal, I had to understand that I existed beyond the sport.
Oh, right.
Like my existence is more powerful. I have better things to offer to life than just the sport.
So thank y'all for watching this video. I hope y'all learned a lot and took a lot away from this. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And most importantly,
Be crazy.
All right.